to this part of the Unicorn app series. In this part, we're going to look at how to use Kotlin Multiplatform Mobile. So in Multiplatform Mobile, we have these setup instructions. So what we're going to do is follow the instructions in the main branch, and we have the link here. So we go to the first setup step, which is brew install kdoctor. So on our terminal, we can run brew install kdoctor. So in my case, I installed kdoctor 0.0.4 and it auto updated homebrew as well, and I could reinstall it using brew reinstall kdoctor. Now that kdoctor is installed, we could run it. So run kdoctor. Now in this case, we see that it runs its checks. So it's running the system check with macOS 12.6 M1, Java check. It found the version of Java it needed, which is 11.0.13 here, and the Java home is set. Android Studio is present, and the Kotlin Multiplatform Mobile plugin is installed. So here it's installed in my Flamingo version. So just to show the installation of Kotlin Multiplatform in Flamingo Canary 6, I have, if I go to plugins and look for Kotlin Multiplatform Mobile, so it says installed, and so the version of Android which has it is 2022.2.1. so 2022.2.1, which is probably this one, and then Xcode is installed. So it ran the check for Xcode, it ran the check for CocoaPods, and it ran the check. If your system doesn't have the correct version of Ruby or CocoaPods, you can as well follow the steps here. So in this readme file, we have the steps to check for the correct version of Ruby, and in our case, we could install Ruby using rbenv and set the rbenv global version to 2.7.5, and then if we run ruby-v, we get 2.7.5. If our CocoaPods is not installed, we can run gem install CocoaPods. In this case, it should be already installed, and it's reinstalling it. We can also install gem install CocoaPods generate, which is also a dependency that it needs. So it needs Ruby, it needs Ruby gems, it needs CocoaPods, and it needs CocoaPods generate. So once all those dependencies are installed, we can go into Android Studio, save file, new project, and we can say Kotlin Multiplatform app. This should be installed as a result of the plugin being installed. So here we could say unicorn KMM, and we can change the So that's unicorn KMM, and we can set the Android version to SDK version to, let's say, Lollipop. It'll run on 98.8% of devices, and we can change the folder here to our folder, which is Unicorn App Android, and under Unicorn App Mobile we should have, let's see, Unicorn App iOS, we should have the Unicorn App KMM folder. So we select that and we click next. Here we can select the application name, so we can select Unicorn as the application name and iOS Unicorn as the iOS application name. We can say shared folder. Here, instead of the iOS framework distribution set to CocoaPod's dependency manager, we can set it to regular framework for this scenario, because in the more advanced scenarios you may want to use CocoaPods. Click finish, and now we can hopefully see the Android Studio project get created. Let's check our terminal, and yeah, so this is the Android Studio project called Unicorn KMM. Now it's indexing and building the file, so we can switch to project. Under project we have the iOS Unicorn folder, the Android Unicorn folder, and we have the shared folder. The shared folder should have the files which are common between the two. So we have a class called greeting. Here, just to test this, we can set the greeting to Unicorn, and in the Android folder we have our Java file, which is the main activity file. So this one should have some of the default themes and shapes and colors and typography, as well as the actual composables for our KMM project. So if we look at if we run just the Android app in our emulator, we should be able to see what it looks like in the emulator. So check the emulator here, click on home now, and it should show the message here. So it says Unicorn Android 32, which is the platform name, which it got from Get Platform. Now if we select iOS instead of running it, I can just build it. So we rebuild the project and wait for the build to complete here. And now that the build is complete, we can switch to Xcode and open our, actually we could go to the folder which has the Xcode project, which is iOS Unicorn. Open in Finder and open this in Xcode. So once this is open, we could run it on our simulator here. So just select iPhone 14 Pro as the simulator, and we can run that. So it's saying no such module shared, which means it's still building. So it should go away once it's built. And it's running now. So it says unicorn with the platform and version name. So that's about it for this one. Thanks for watching.